Hi YouTube, this is Joe Kelton with Kelton Cutlery. Visit me on the web, keltoncutlery.com. So today's video is going to be a quick one. It's just an update on the garden fabric video. I believe the beginning of last season, so it would have been, so this is summer of 2025, so it would have been spring of 2024. You know, the weeds were just getting out of hand in the garden. They just were. Our garden's like 40 by 50, somewhere around there. And, you know, I just didn't have enough time to keep the weeds under control anymore. We were going to do the deep mulch method, you know, where you just pile in a whole bunch of, you know, bark, and, well, we were going to do the wood shavings, because the local tree recycling place, the compost facility, they give away single grind mulch for free. Pretty much you take a truck or a trailer down there and they'll give you as much as you can carry of it. But my wife decided she didn't want to do that, so we ended up doing the garden fabric. So the garden fabric, I ended up with 3 different types. I really wasn't planning on having 3 different types, but that's the way it worked out. I ended up with the Dewitt, which everybody said was like the premium, you know, commercial grade garden fabric. Then I ended up with a roll of Vivore garden fabric, which I believe is like Home Depot type quality. You know, so quite a bit better than Walmart, but not quite commercial grade. And then I also had some Walmart grade garden fabric also. And so, and there was a pretty big price difference between the 3 of them, and I'll just let you refer to the first video I shot about that. This video is pretty much, we've got 2 years into this garden fabric now, and we'll just take you around the garden and kind of let you see how it's weathered after 2 years of our wonderful Wyoming weather. We did have 3 hailstorms this summer. Nothing big, just honestly it was, you know, marble size, maybe a little bit smaller. Honestly, just enough to trash the garden and, you know, knock off a little bit of paint here and there. So more of an annoyance than anything really bad, but it leveled out the garden twice. And the garden really didn't do all that great this year because of that. But the garden fabric's still here, and that's what you guys are here to see. So anyway, let me turn you around here. Okay, so this stuff right here with the white lines on it, okay, this is the Dewitt stuff. I ended up with a roll. It was like 6 foot wide by like 250 foot long, something like that. And I coated the whole garden in it. That's what's left of the pumpkin patch. Squash, I think, tomatoes over there. We still got to come in and clean everything up. I didn't use the garden staples. I had all these lovely rocks here that my neighbor gave me, and we weren't really too sure what to do with them, so I used it to hold down the garden fabric. Now, where the garden fabric is, you know, just clean, there are no weeds. In fact, the Dewitt stuff is held up remarkably well for, as you'll see, compared to the Vivore and the Walmart brand stuff. About the only places that you have weeds are places like this. Oh, I guess my tripod won't flex all that well. So where, you know, where dirt comes up against the rock and the rock holds the dirt in place, weeds will grow there, but they come out real quick and easy. Okay, that's about the only place that you'll see weeds on this garden fabric, or places where, like right here, my wife did have something planted here, so instead of, yeah, no, we were going to have something planted here, and then we didn't get the fabric tucked back over. So you can either burn a hole in this, you know, to put your plant in, or if you're going to do rows, just take where the seams are, fold them back, and then plant your stuff in that row. This was one that I just didn't get tucked over far enough, but I'll show you with the carrots. So see, with this long row, instead of melting the row in the fabric, you just, you know, peel the sides up, put your rocks down to hold it, and then plant whatever you want to plant. So pretty much the only place that this DeWalt or the Dewitt fabric took hits that you know, that damaged it are these spots right here. There's one here, right by my foot. There's one there, and then there's a big one over here. Now that is not hail damage, that is our wonderful Wyoming wind. If we have that windmill up on the top, which we do during the summers, I probably need to rebuild this this winter or next summer. But the wind will come. You see how I got the legs tied off with cinder blocks? The wind will push that windmill so hard that even with the cinder blocks, it'll tip the whole damn thing over, and it will fall down, and then those blades will punch a hole in the Dewitt fabric. But other than that, I mean, there is very little damage anywhere on this fabric. And like I said, this is 2 seasons, and with as much time as this stuff saves, it is well worth the money. I mean, honestly, I hate to say this, but I would pay full retail for this stuff again if I needed to. The Dewitt stuff, I mean, it's just really, really good stuff. Now, once we get over here, this stuff with the green lines in it, this is the Vivore fabric. And like I said, it's Home Depot quality, which, you know, is considerably better than Walmart, but it's not near, you know, the commercial grade stuff. Now, right here, that's old Bob. He's just crowing away. Here you can see there's, I mean, nothing fell on this stuff except for the hail. The hail, the wind, you know, our wind gets pretty serious around here. I mean, it's just, you know, all these holes right here. See how you can actually see the dirt in between that? So next season, I'm gonna have to replace this, or the weeds are gonna come right up through. Now, when it's new, the weeds do come, you know, the dirt gets collected underneath the rock, and then the weeds go through that. I suppose I could show you on this one here. I mean, it does still, but see that? The weave is not near as tight as the Dewitt stuff, so the weeds hold on to it a lot better. But anyway, I mean, after 2 seasons, this Dewitt stuff is pretty much done. And then we'll get over here to the, you can actually really tell it, so this is kind of the entryway into the garden. There's the gate, and there's some of the chickens. So we come through this way all the time, you know, to come into the garden, but the majority of this is hail damage. And it just beat it up. And like I said, that was just marble size, you know, the plain marble, not the you know, the little bitty marbles, not the thumb ones. This here is the Walmart garden fabric, and it's just toast. I mean, it came into this year kind of sort of okay. I mean, it was beat up, but the hail it shredded it. Yeah. And there's nothing left of it, and you can see all the weeds are growing up through it, or through what's left of it. And yeah, it's just trash. So anyway, so when I was researching the garden fabric, you know, you got the big YouTubers like Living Traditions, Homestead, you know, and several others that said how great that Dewitt fabric was and how it was really worth it. But honestly, I never saw a comparison video as to, you know, why that Dewitt fabric was so much better. I mean, they talked about, you know, that it was thicker, that the weave was tighter, but this right here, like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I figured since I ended up with 3 different types of garden fabric in the same garden over a 2-year span, that anybody that's shopping for this stuff would really like to see it. Like I said, the Walmart stuff, it's cheap, and it's readily available. I mean, they're at Walmart pretty much all the way across the country. The Vivore stuff, I ended up ordering it, but I believe I could pick it up at my local Home Depot, or they probably got something similar to it at Lowe's. The Dewitt stuff, I ended up having to order it from the Dewitt Amazon store. Okay, that's how I ended up with the Vivore stuff. Is that I thought I was ordering the Dewitt fabric, but it was a third-party reseller, and he was just drop shipping. And honestly, I'm not even too sure he was here in the States. Bob. He just never shuts up, does he? And so I ended up paying Dewitt money for the Vivore type product, and then yeah, that was how I ended up with the Vivore stuff. So anyway, next season I'm going to have to replace this Vivore stuff and the Walmart brand stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and order that Dewitt stuff. Even though it's more expensive, you only have to lay it down once. Now this next year or the year after, I'll end up pulling all this stuff up, you know, probably peeling it up and then draping it off of the far fence, and then coming back in and tilling, putting more compost and all that kind of stuff in, and then relaying it back down. But you know, the size of the garden that we have for the amount of stuff that we're growing now, I think I only have to do that, you know, every 3 or 4 years. I mean, there's plenty of room. We're not planting near as much as what we did the first couple of years, so you know, we can rotate to different spots that haven't grown anything for, you know, 2 or 3 years before we have to pull it up and till it. But anyway, so that's a comparison of the Dewitt fabric, the Vivore fabric, and the Walmart garden fabrics. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can visit me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.